Well, to look at the nature of politics in Nigeria, party politics in Nigeria, talking about challenges and the prospect that lies ahead, it's very, very interesting to talk about the way politics is being done today in Nigeria. And some say that a lot of people have really true caution to the wind, going by, trying to take laws into their hands. And most especially, some have also said that the kind of elections, politics that we do this day, it's somehow characterized by violence. For them, it's not a good development. Well, to look at all this morning, we are so privileged to have Honorable Osase Ihera. It's quite been some time. Honorable, you're welcome to this program.
It's been some time. Yes,
where have you been? Where have you been?
Well, like you said, the challenges of Nigerian society.
Okay.
Well, we've been around. We've been around the corner.
All right.
Try to trade on our second address.
Okay. And I will also have Comrade Inoma Marvis Yamu, who is a very good friend of mine. And incidentally, is going to be one of the readers at our Nine Lenses Carols this year. Comrade, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you very much, It's an honor to be here.
All right, just to look at the topic at hand, looking at politics in Nigeria, party politics in Nigeria, the nature, challenges, prospect. Now, how best do you think we can really characterize party politics in Nigeria? I'll start with you, Honorable.
Well, thank you very much, Evans. Good morning, viewers at home. I think politics in Nigeria is a hydra-headed issue. Where you try to cut it from this way, another problem rears its head from this way. The challenges, like you rightly put, are enormous compared to the prospects we think we are supposed to be seeing. Ranging from the insincerity of political actors, the partisan participants, the electorate, and even the umpire, who is supposed to be very independent, transparent, and credible. All these put together seems to create a hydra-headed problem with numerous challenges that is encompassing the growth of Nigerian politics. Within the intra-party system, you begin to see the insincerity of the political actors. Those who believe that they are political gladiators, thereby chasing away those who have the sincerity of purpose to the detriment of those who have monetary interests behind them. So a lot of persons, a lot of actors are in politics. There are some that are there because of their personal gains. There are some who actually want to come into politics with the sincerity of how to come and serve and deliver on the dividends of democracy. But there are a lot of equivalences, factors that will hinder such people. And like you already said in your introducing statement, Nigerian politics are so characterized by a lot of violence. We tend to make some persons have a withdrawal attitude.
Okay.
I cannot do this. If you cannot kill, you cannot be in politics. If you are not, if you don't belong to one court, then you cannot be in politics. And when you put all these factors together, they create a lot of monumental challenges.
Okay, let me pause you there so that I can bring Comrade Inoma in. Now, just like what Honorable said, that you find some big political bigwigs, just by what he said, that they drive away those that are not as big as them from politics. Now, do we really have that situation at hand? Or is the fact that it is our electoral system, our electoral laws, that somehow make people that really have the goodwill in politics not to try it? Take, for example, if you want to run for a presidential position, you have to pay some huge amounts of money. Yeah, so the question is it our laws, or is this big political bigwigs that drive other people away from politics?
Thank you, Mr. Evans. Before I respond to that question, let me quickly say good morning to viewers and listeners out there. I also wish them a blissful Sunday service. Yeah, thank you very much, Honorable Sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, my brother.
The issue raised to me, the political system in Nigeria, just now, it's incomprehensibly disturbing. It's disturbing in that it has become a profession. where someone who has not visited a permanent level of academic struggle, not start telling you he's a leader. He knows the game more than someone who has even who has even studied political science in the higher institution. So today, what we are experiencing in Nigeria, I want to be properly guided. I don't want to, back it on our laws, because I don't want to expose myself to any form of public injury. The issue within our political system today, Mr. Evans, if we are together, the issue today in our political system is that majority of our youths, our people, they have rendered themselves very useful to the political players.
Okay, now let's, just before you go, what we're looking at is party politics in Nigeria. Sure. Party politics in Nigeria, challenges and prospects. Please go ahead.
Yes, I can tell you, I don't want to directly just respond to your question. There should be a foundation. You're going to be talking about a political party. A political party ought to be a structure where people, come together with the political ideology to champion the cause in the interest of that party. Because it's constitutionally stated that a candidate cannot even, you can't be a candidate. Or for you to be a candidate of a political party, you have to be sponsored by that party and be a member of that political party. So there's no way you can't take away the laws regarding the political activities and the political party itself. So the activities within the political party just now in this country has lost, long ago displaced ideological consciousness, whereby it is played basically or based on individuals' perception and their personal interest. That if it does not favor them, or they must do everything possible within the party structure, especially when they are in charge of the leadership structure of the party, to ensure that they are so-called loyalists, they are so-called ardent supporters, hold sensitive positions within the party, to be able to, when it is time for maybe party primaries or congress, whichever name you call it, to be able to hold on to the leadership structure of the party. They must do everything possible to incorporate their loyalists, regardless of the ideology of the consciousness of that person at all. Doesn't even bother them. So what is quite important to them is that, this person can be used, to achieve a particular cause like this. So today in this country, the political party that we have today, the political parties we have in this country today, they have no ideology. They have no ideology at all.
That's the way you see it.
That's the way it is being played. Because, you see, a party is supposed to be, I'm on a public podium, so let me be guided. A political party is supposed to be a congregation of people with same ideology, the same perception, the same like minds when it comes to reasoning. To say, as a party, this is the only a platform we can come, go to our people to tell them, this is what we can offer. Support us into power. Once we get to power, we'll do this, we'll do that. So the party is supposed to be another arm of government to be able to push for the cause and the interest of the people. So what we now have to do is that, all we need to do is just ensure that our people get to power. Once they are there, forget this, what is important that they are already there. So whatever happens at the party level, the ideology that ought to drive the party is not even relevant, it's not important at all. Because if you say there is a political agenda in the system, I think somebody should be able to come up and say, I'm vying for a particular position in this party. Support me with the belief that if I'm empowered, if I'm supported to get into that office, I will do this, I will do that. You see the manifesto is clear, convincing. But in this case, in the one we see today, is that if we perceive this person is not loyal or is not ready to do our business, not to do our cause, the person is an enemy of state, will be declared an enemy of state.
Okay. Now,
and it has really not been very healthy for the political growth in this country. And it's affecting the economic emancipation as well.
Okay. Now, Honorable Sase, do you think if we have a situation whereby we go into elections, in other words, we talk about politics without necessarily talking about parties, we just go into our elections without parties, do you think we can have a kind of free and fair election that most of us desire?
Well, there are scenarios, there are countries where you have the opportunity of being an independent candidate, irrespective of political parties put in place. Like my colleague rightly said, see, a political party ordinarily is supposed to be a vehicle that propels the mission and ideas of a set of people. I take you back down memory lane. In the Fourth Second Republic, where you have people with political ideologies and visions. They were able to bring together a set of people with like philosophy to propel a political party with laid down manifestos and goals. When they got to power, they didn't deviate from it. For example, the UPN, led by a political sociologist, late Bafemi Awolowo, had a mission statement that they are more or less a socialist-oriented organization that would deliver on the welfare of the people. And when they came, you find out that all the states controlled by UPN then worked towards the tenets of the political party as at then. So was NPN, so was PROP by Aminu Kano and some other political parties. The problem we are having in today's party system, maybe because the parties initially will be teleguided by the government in power, as it was during the days of Abacha, where you have 5 political parties coming together to endorse one military gladiator. Yeah. There are forces behind that seems to teleguide our present political party. Personal interest in the same political party by the political gladiators I have said earlier is also militating against the growth of our political parties. A political party ordinarily should have ideas, vision, and goal. This is our ideology. We believe in mixed capital economy. We believe in qualitative education. And therefore, how do we propel this belief of ours? This is our vision. As so here, we are supposed to be able to actualize this. Our goal, by the time we are able to actualize this, we would have been able to produce quality educated Nigerians. Okay. That would have been good. Okay. But today, you have people with different, our political party today is a conglomeration of strange bedfellows. They come in because they want to get power, and if they don't get the power, the following day you see them hibernating from the one political party to another.
Okay. Now let me come to Comrade. Now you see a situation whereby individuals within political parties tend to be greater than political parties, themselves. To the fact that, to the extent that the ideas, the ideologies of these individuals now become, if you like, manifesto of the party. Why do you think this is the situation now?
Okay, I highlighted in my first expression that there is nothing that one needs to say on the repeated note that you have to distance yourself from the core reality of what is happening today in this country. There is not word ideology near the practice and participation of politics in Nigeria. And it's cut across all the political formations. Of course, the reason why some persons have seen that, they've come to realize that, the only way we can be relevant in society, the only way our impact can be felt by people in society is to be involved in a political party, get registered in one of these political parties. And you see them in most cases, they're registered with the maybe ruling political party, thereby spending their personal money, organizing party activities, at the world level, local government level, and even at the state or national level, just for them to get the relevance they seek. So some of them are there to actually, achieve something in their own interest and their own name. They might not be interested in political power or in any political office. Some are there with genuine intentions. They want to let's see how far we can change the narrative of things within our state or within our local government. But I can tell you that we are not politically conscious enough. We are not prepared. We don't know. We are yet to, attain not even the fifth, but the first and second tenet of political ideology. Okay, now when you say we are not prepared, now you are talking about the politicians, or you are talking about even the electorate? The electorate, majorly. Okay. Who are the politicians? They are not majority electorate, of course. They get involved in political parties, political party activities. Let me give you a practical instance. In my local government, for instance, some of these leaders will just call you. The leader, possibly you stay on the same street. You know how one-on-one encounter. You don't discuss, you don't relate one-on-one. Doesn't even know anything. You doesn't even know about your welfare. But if time for election is near, you see the mark playing close to you, coming close to you to begin to say, my brother, how are you now? You're in this area. What do you do for a living? You see, election is just coming now. You have to show your relevance, to show your value, so that by the time our party gets to power, you'll be recognized. I'm still very fresh in my memory, clearly. How some persons were asked to come contest for political office many years ago, way back now.
In your own local governments? At
the level of local governments. They were their farm, doing farm business. They went and called them to come outside. Some were politically empowered with just secondary school living certificates. When they got to power, they started pushing their education.
Yeah, so they didn't fall short of
we've had cases like that.
Yeah.
So I think the major task lies with the electorate, the voters, the youth, to say no, enough is enough. It's because our youth don't do research, we are not exposed. Whoever exposes his knowledge to the activities that play at the level of ANC in South Africa, of course, not wait for anybody to come and start telling you cook stories as to what I can do for what I not do for you. The ANC political ideology was a core political ideology that was driven by, intellectual consciousness, intellectual values. You get it? So in this case, when we found ourselves in Nigeria, there are plethora of issues bedeviling the event of political politics in Nigeria.
Okay.
Our political gladiators, they want to remain perpetually relevant. They want a situation whereby you must be subservient to them before they can see the value and the relevance to you.
Not necessarily the party.
Not even necessarily the party, yes. Not necessarily the party. It's like I said, there are plethora of issues actually affecting the functionalities of our politics in Nigeria. Okay. Now, this set of persons, these political gladiators, they want the youth, because they are very smart, they want you to continue to be subservient, like I said, to be used as a tool in their hands, especially during electoral events. Okay.
Now, Honorable Sase, just before you add to that, let me quickly bring this question in addition to what you want to say. Now, like what is presently going on in the APC, the crisis, polarity in the party in Edo State and all that. Some say it's largely due to lack of internal democracy, because we're talking about party politics here. Now, we have situations whereby there is the tendency for some of these political parties at times not to mind the relevance, so to say now, of the electorate. Now, I want you to talk along this line, because ultimately, without the electorate, no matter how individuals, no matter how strong they are in their party, without the affirmation of the electorate, most especially at the elections, your relevance will not be relevant. I want to talk about
that. Thank you very much. Before I answer your question, you see, I don't want my friend here to heap more of the blame on the youths. Because we have used these scenarios, even when the youths struggle through emancipation. Get to the political echelon.
Yeah.
He begins to behave like the same people we are condemning, we are kicking against. For example, you have opportunity of showing that yes, you belong to a generational change, that there must be a purpose-driven vision in you. But what do you see? Sometimes most of our youth, when they get to political powers, they're even worse.
So what do you think is responsible for that?
Yes, I will tell you. But we'll come to the crux of that. What is responsible is because in our political party system today, the people don't sit down and look at those who are interested in service, giving service to the people. They are interested in whose pocket is fatter. And if, for example, my brother here today has a lot of cash to play with, he comes in, I want to be a councillor of my local government, of my ward, or I want to be a local government chairman. Our party leaders are those who are in whose party structures in their hand. Don't sit down and say, okay, what are the antecedents of this young man? Where has he worked? What is qualificational background?
Yeah, what are his the money?
when you put financial benefit forward, that's what you will get. I remember my brother. Let me tell you, before in Second Republic, my late uncle, Engineer Malagbedio, came out and said he wanted to be governor in MPN. There were many, they looked at his integrity. He was all winning. But at the point in time, they said, oh, they went to call Babundi and said, because of your good deed, you can do this. And by the time he sat down, both of them, they analyzed The man said, okay, if this is for the purpose of our party to grow and for us to get to power, I relinquish our vision. That is because these two persons are purpose-driven. A situation you want to come to power to serve as a local government chairman, you put some money, you vote for those who are going to hire to kill and maim. At the day of the primaries, if they don't give it to me, it's a do or die. Because he's saying a do or die because the political leadership have collected a lot of portfolios and fat envelopes inside their houses. But ordinarily, when I come here and say, oh, my friend, we know you have money. We have looked at your past political, we have looked at your record, we have looked at this and this. We think we cannot feed you as our candidate.
Because of X, Y.
Because of X, Y, X, Y, this. But that is not to say you cannot benefit politically. Like I said, there are a lot of areas people can participate politically.
Okay. Now,
for example, the person could benefit from contract award and other things for his financial contribution to the party.
Okay, let me pause you. I'll come to Comrade Mavis now. Just like what he said, that you find youths, when youths come into politics, before you know it, they change. I mean, you are a youth advocate, Comrade Yamo. What do you think is responsible for this?
Well, you see, the issue.
Did I hit you with that question?
Yes. Because it's directly targeted at me.
Yeah.
It got me so deep.
That is practice what you. That is practice what you preach.
I mean, you are a youth advocate.
My worry is that a situation whereby political office holders today now begin to sing, songs of praise and honor for themselves that they have done well. It becomes practically a serious issue.
No, Comrade Diamo, you're not answering the question.
I answer you.
Yeah.
I answer you, sir. I chose not to be direct in response to you whenever I'm asked a question. I have my reasons for that. You see, the issue raised by Ogaye is quite, critical. Today we have different, youth. I mean, we have youth in position of authority. They're in power. At different as ward councillor, supervisory councillor, special assistant to the local government chairman, or special assistant to the governor, or special advisor, local government secretaries. At that level, local government chairman, as members, at that level, they are leaders from the grassroots. So I think they are expected to actually display exhibit that leadership dexterity in them, in the interest of the people. Whereby at that level they serve, they ought to place the good interest of the people first before their personal interest. I'm not trying to diverge from the fact that in politics there's no personal interest. Of course, whatever you tend to do is driven by personal ambition and interest. So when doing that, you must try as much as possible to be able to manage the interest. But today, some of these persons who were social crusaders, who were advocates of the youth, who fought for youth empowerment and regulation in the political system, are in position of authority today, and they are worse than leaders of fight against.
So what do you think is responsible for that?
So what I think is responsible for that is, I think it's a personal thing.
No. I don't think it's a personal thing.
If I say personal thing, you see, if as humans, if we're able to criticize ourselves, criticize our actions and our decisions on any issue, even in most cases we are being hailed for our actions and decisions, and if we go on our in our quiet time, on our personal notes, to assess our actions, our activities, people's responses to our issues, then we will know that we are ready to lead and serve. Then we can be seen to be, okay, when we are given this position, we can do better. But what is responsible in most cases is greed. I don't know if you're getting me. So, you see, somebody who in his lifetime, maybe he has been existing for the past 10 decades. Maybe at the age of 32, 33, 34, he was in a political position. To now be in charge of the finances he has never seen in his life. And that person has no orientation, no background consciousness. His traits are very, very disturbing. How do you expect us to manage that and manage people with him? Okay. Fell is in leadership responsibility.
All right, also say, let me come to you. Perhaps I'll ask you the question again. Okay. Now, do you really think these youths at times, they really have their personal capability, their innate ability, do they work for them? Because it's something that maybe at times they really don't have the ability in terms of financial muscles now. And of course, they have leaders that sponsor them. And when they get to that position, they cannot do otherwise.
Thank you. That was where I was about going to. That it is not generally because of selfish interest or personal interest. Factors propel selfish interest or greed. Like I've always said, you hardly see any person that will get to a political position today without having spent or part away with millions or billions.
To the leaders.
Depending on the political position the person aspires to go to. I tell you, to become an honorary councillor today, as of today, maybe if it were now, some of us would have been able to contest election, because I contested election from the classroom. From the classroom. But today, for you to become a councillor today, you part away with millions. But at the end of the day, the pressure from other political, like you asked a question I was almost answering before you punctuated me. The internal wranglings in APC today. What are the causes? These are some of the things. A situation where you mount pressure, there are external forces mounting pressure on those who are saddled with leadership to continuously take away the commonwealth of the people for the benefit of the few. And when those who have vision say, no, if I continue this way, I will not have any legacy to say, there will be a crisis. I am not specifically saying that is what is happening, but it cannot be far away from being one of the remote causes of the crisis in the party today.
I'm talking about the crisis in the APC. Do you see any remedy in sight, any solution in sight, or how best do you think the APC can really tackle these issues?
Yes, the APC must come. They say those that are coming to equity must come with clear hands. You came to us with change, and the people embrace your change. And rather than showing us the positive change, we are beginning to see negative change in you. Then, cause for worry.
So, but how best?
Now, the only way they can resolve it, that's why I say he that comes to equity must come with clear. They must show all the sincerity of purpose, that the change that they promise us, they are really ready to give it to us. Yeah, and for them to do that, therefore, they must purge themselves. Those who are saddled with party leadership must know that, yes, this is the limit of my power. Those who are saddled with representing the party in government, because there are two things. The party is the vehicle upon which individuals came into government. And therefore, the party ought to direct the affairs of government, but not to seize the affairs of government from those in government you have sent to represent in government. What is happening today is an attempt to seize governance from those who have given power to represent you. And those who have given power say, no, this is my responsibility. Allow me to do it to the best of my knowledge. If he is derailing from let them come out and say, this person has derailed from the political manifestos and the promises of the people, and that is why we are fighting him. Then the people will say, yes, that is how you telegate government. Like I said in Second Republic, when our one said, one of the primary objectives of this party is to give free education at all levels. All the governors of UPN comply.
Okay. Now, Mavis,
so the letter.
Let's go back to the APC now, because we are beginning to narrow it down to some of these issues here. Now, the internal crisis in the APC, particularly in Edo State, seems to be getting worse by the day. I mean, 2 days ago, we understand that there was a NEC meeting in Abuja where we really saw the polarity of the APC in Edo State. Two leadership were there, and all that. Now, what ways do you think APC Edo State can really tackle these internal issues we're talking about in party politics in Nigeria? How?
I think the issue is quite interesting because it's a one-party thing. So to them, they'll tell you it's a family issue. So at that level, they will resolve it. But on daily basis, it's escalating. And it's affecting the public, those involved, especially the states that is...
the constituencies.
The permanent constituencies that is in charge of the affairs of the party in this country. The national chairman is from this state, and the former governor. The person that is in this tough moment is a governor in the state. So I think Edo State is involved with this.
And some of the
crisis.
constituencies that still don't have their members at the House of Assembly now.
Inaugurated. You see, they must come out open. Like my Ogarali said, they must come out, this sincerity of purpose. Talk about governance. Governance is about purposeful leadership. Like I said, if we're able, if as humans, we take out that time to assess ourselves, to critically, analyze our actions and our decisions on any issue, then we begin to see that we are on the right path to.
Now, perhaps, comrade, you may want to say that this has gone beyond individual issues now. I mean, talking about the two factions of the APC, they have supporters, they have followers towing along the ideologies and all that. So do you think...
There are some questions I cannot even ask you here, because you will not be able to respond to that question. The virtue of your profession.
Yeah, but
and it's allowed.
Okay.
If not, because at times you try to raise questions from this perception of your personal perception, that is how it's supposed to be. You can't hear it out. So, but in that case, I can assure you that the players in this, the players of this game currently in APC as it stands, the both structures, I think they are gathering momentum on a daily basis from within and outside the party. Okay, and it ought to be an internal issue.
But would that be for good?
I think it should be for good, but it will not become an issue between good governance and anti-good governance. Let's see what happens. If the governor is able to scale through, survive it, then let's see how far his popularity can take him. But if he's not able to survive it, then not see what happens next. See, in politics, I keep telling people, we need to begin to practice politics as we practice other professional courses. Because it has become an interesting game on a daily basis. People try to get involved. You see people living from one part of that party. If you're in this part today, you start to say, oh, they say everything against and in favor. Then if you leave for another party tomorrow, then. So, like I said, when we were talking about youth involved in the power today, how far they've been able to perform to the expectation of the people. I said it's a personal thing, it's about their person. And about, there are some of them, vast majority of these persons who are in position of authority today, who are in political offices. They are not under pressure by those who supported them, by those who made that financial measure or whatever supported their emergence. They are not under any pressure to pay homage, to pay political patronage to them. No, all they were asked to do is that, see, go and take charge of the leadership affairs of that local government. Today you are being entrusted with the commonwealth of these particular people. Go and ensure that their interest is highly represented and you do the right thing in their own favor. But we have some of these persons, they woke up to say, yeah, they are the most performing House of Assembly member, House of Rep member. They are the most performing local chairman. They are the most performing councillor ever had in the history of Edo State. Whereas, they know quite right that their performance is quite abysmal. But they don't want to believe in it. So in most cases, it's about the person. If the national chairman can be so magnanimous, for instance, to say, okay, you see, this is my state. I once told the people that we are a nice man. Okay, well, in politics, we are bound to make mistakes. Even as humans, we are bound to make mistakes. We are not perfect. We have our shortcomings. So if we are bound to make mistakes, they are meant for us to make our mistakes and actually, understand the fact that we have heard and begin to make amends. Then we begin to pave way for perfection. Okay. So in this case, we need the intervention of the core national structure of APC, not within the state level. If possible, take it to traditional rulers to intervene in this issue. Yeah, the national structure intervened. I remember the ad hoc committee from the two houses, the Senate and the House of Reps came down to Edo State. Let me tell you what it is. At times I don't want to delve into APC issue or any political party issue because I think at the end of it all will be at the receiving end, the youth. So they had their last National Executive Council meeting in Abuja a few days ago. And it was where some persons expected by, the national chairman, the national leader, or the one leader of the party, the person of President Muhammadu Buhari, would just say, it's quite unhealthy that the national chairman of the party and his governor, they are at loggerheads. We don't want this to continue. Please ensure that the issue is resolved within the particular and give us feedback. A few weeks ago, the National Working Committee constituted a panel to look into the issue. Few days ago, another was constituted again, headed by the governor of Sokoto State, Ganduje. So where is that? What can you reconcile that contradiction?
So are you possibly saying that there seems not to be any solution in sight?
Yeah, I don't know, but it's not far from the fact that, like I've always maintained, that there is no political. There need to be hygiene. There needs to be hygiene. There should be political hygiene in the system, the political system. Okay. I don't think that is done. All right. And let me quickly remind you of this. Professor Patrick Lumumba, former DJ of Law School Kenya. He said when he was contesting, he said he attended all conferences, he made speeches, he made comments, and people heard and respected him and gave series of accolades, that he had actually done where he has performed. He has all it takes to preside over the affairs of the Republic of Kenya. But he never knew that without giving out money or whatever that he was just playing, that when his opponent started dishing out cash, potentially, that it became a different thing. Okay. So that in Africa, Nigeria, we are the giant of Africa, the last time I checked. Not until we, like I said, the youth, we are ready to take over the second, begin to question our leaders. Say, my now, you.
Okay, I'll come to that, but especially what you guys are doing at the African Youth Parliament. I'm going to come to that. Now, Honorable Sase, the issues we're looking here perhaps is not only the APC. Even in your own party, the PDP, or let me say the party that I know you support. Now, the party that I know you support, the PDP. You discover that there are also issues there. I mean, recently we heard how some big wigs in the PDP left, and the reactions to that, and some of the statements made that they tried to resolve the crisis in the PDP, they couldn't, and that's why they had to leave. Now, all this points to the fact that there are internal crises within political parties in Nigeria. And of course, all this boils down to issues as it relates to party politics in Nigeria. So how can we find lasting solutions to all these issues?
Yes, it's very simple. First and foremost, one of the lasting solutions to this issue is the third party, which is supposed to be the third party is supposed to be the independent umpire. The INEC. The INEC. Let me tell you, first and foremost, the Electoral Act make provision for all these internal wranglings.
Yeah, but let me.
But if the INEC is not independent,
the limitations to INEC. Because
let me tell you, sir. Let me tell you, sir.
INEC cannot interfere.
Let me tell you, sir. Today, like you said before, the INEC must be able to do the needful.
What is the needful now?
Now, one of the needful is this. You are aware that some constituencies, including my own constituency, is being shortchanged by the present crisis embargo rocking the APC.
Which constituency is that?
Orado West. In fact, the two constituencies are shortchanged. We don't have a representative in the House of Assembly at all.
They've not come forward for inauguration.
For reasons best not to them. If we had trusted our ballot on them to represent us, but they chose to follow a faction or a group. We are not saying you should not respect the leadership of your party. We are not saying you should not do this. But you must also know, you must be able to differentiate your position as a legislator for the people you are representing, because you are not representing only APC in the House of Assembly. You are representing both the PDP, the White People's Party, and the Electorate that don't even belong to the political party.
All right, back to your position now.
If I know that these people, there's a limited time they are supposed to stay out of that place as a staff as a rent, and if I without being prepared, decide to say I want to declare this seats vacant, I'm sure these persons will run back to go and take their position in the House of Assembly.
Well,
and therefore, if they go back to the House of Assembly, they would have, to an extent, carried out their constitutional responsibility of representing the people.
Okay. Now,
and thereby, knowing that there is need for them to resolve the crisis, so that they will able to perform relatively well. Two, like you rightly said, leaders must know that they are leaders.
Now, Honorable, let me pause you. I'm going to come to you, but let me quickly chip this in. Now, you are blaming INEC now, that INEC ought to call for another election in this constituency so that...
they might not necessarily call for election.
Okay, that the number of...
They should invoke the provisions of the Electoral Act.
Yeah, the
provision of the Electoral Act says that given a specific time frame, because I might not be able to tell you perfectly the number of days.
I think about 90 days or thereabouts.
But if you are elected and you have not be inaugurated. The INEC reserve the right.
That is
to declare as if vacant, either conduct a by-election or declare the runner of winner.
But you know that there are conditions on that. Now, I know, I think you're talking about Section 91 of the 1999 Constitution as amended.
Yes.
Now, that section says that if a certain House member don't appear given a number certain of days, that a rerun will be done and all that. Now I want to know something, that there is a limitation to that. That what the position of the Constitution says, that it is only a member that has been inaugurated. So as it stands now, these guys have not been inaugurated. So
they are legislators elect.
So they are elected.
Then what does the Electoral Act say about somebody who have been elected and have not been sworn?
What does it say? What does it say?
That is what I'm telling you. That I'm not talking about Constitution. The Electoral Act says that you must be inaugurated at so period. Now, is it the proclamation have not been made? Why are you staying out of being inaugurated? They have challenged the proclamation of the governor, and the Court of Competent Jurisdiction have said that the governor cannot do proclamation twice. Like you talk about the National Assembly interfering. Did they interfere with a good sincerity of purpose?
No, you cannot.
Or coming to do the bidding of a particular individual?
No, but you can also say so. I mean, they did their findings, and of course, they made their position known. So you cannot say that they didn't do this. So, they didn't do that.
Like, I think the best solution to it is what my comrade Amelia said. The man who is being seen as the #1 political leader of the party today, even though it was supposed to be the national chairman, supposed to be the political leader, it's unfortunate that the national chairman himself is a mess in this political embryo. Therefore, a different umpire. I think they have a national leader, the president of Asiwaju Bola Tinubu, and other big wigs. We should come together and resolve this. But I know that the crisis before us is just next year, 2020. But the truth of the matter is, our politicians must know that power is transient.
Okay.
And only God endows man with power. You talk about those who just moved from PDP, saying that there's also crisis in PDP. I don't know the kind of crisis they have seen in the PDP, or rather, it's a case of accusation or counter accusation of swindling as the case may be. And these persons also believe that they could not actualize their vision with this present leadership, those present leadership side of the PDP. Hence, they have decided to hibernate. It has always been the tradition of most of them politically to another political party. Then, if INEC have been able to come out independently and be an independent umpire that they are supposed to be, I tell you, many people will know that, yes, if I go to YPP and I genuinely win election, INEC will declare me.
Okay.
And if INEC is able to do that, a lot of persons will have it. I'm sure that this crisis right now, many people would have left APC.
All right, let me come to the man from African Youth Parliament here now, because we talked about the youth earlier on, and we also said that these youths, they graduate into becoming politicians and all that. Now, what are you guys doing at the African Youth Parliament? Because we have been able to establish that at times these youths, when they come into power, that they really don't show any significant change, so to say. So what are you guys doing there?
Before I respond to that question, Mr. Evans, permit me to quickly borrow a few lines from Professor Olarotimi in his book, The Gods Are Not to Blame, where he said, and I quote, that when the head of the home is away, that the home becomes an empty chair. You know what that means? Still trying to respond briefly to the issue of APC you raised before coming to the functionality of African Youth Parliament. You see, the leadership of a particular party will always be at fault if a crisis within the political party cannot be resolved within a particular period of time. They not agree with me that their interest would have surpassed that of the members of the party. So it's seen everywhere. You see. Now coming back to the question you just asked. Yes, we have had persons in the past who are today holding political positions at various levels. And there were former days in days of there are days in student movement, there are days in the youth activism, civil society and the likes. But today they have found themselves in the corridor of power.
And I'll be subsumed by power.
And they've not been able. They've been involved countless times in this severe accident, leadership accident, that they failed to actually give leadership as expected.
So are you saying that for the African Youth Parliament that right leadership is not being imbibed?
No, I'm not even responding to that yet. But I'm responding to those who have today a position of authority.
That were once members of your parliament.
Not the parliament. There were at different level you once operated, either as youth or student crusader. Of course, at that level you've started that lecture in leadership, and whatever you are taught that time is what you certainly bring it to whatever you are doing or whatever you'll be doing in future time. So in African Youth Parliament, what we try to teach is how far, through youthful legislation, we can imbibe the spirit of leadership.
Rightful leadership.
Rightful leadership, purposeful leadership at that. So we do our best on a daily basis. Like at times when I see myself, or when I see some persons having political misunderstanding and exposing themselves to public attacks and injury, I just keep quiet. I say to myself, okay, it's not fair for me to learn from these persons. Whether you are living from a political party to another political party, what I'm doing is going, following your antecedent, recording, putting on proper record, your political activities, your antecedent in the past, and what you will become in the near future. So, at the level we operate right now, we learn from the key players of politics, the gladiators in the political institution, on a daily basis. What is responsible for their failure once they get to power? How some are able to survive, perform excellently well. So, whatever it is that is responsible for their ability to perform, that's some of this we undergo, we study we make references to some of these persons. There's no way at that point in time when I have an opportunity to speak, I'll speak about some of our former African leaders who single-handedly, who woke up on their own and said, okay, there is need for political revolution, carry out revolution successfully in the interest of their people. I don't know if you're getting it. So, my worry just now is this country. It's a big state, my own state. What is happening in the state? Whatever that is happening today, how is it in the interest of the youth? It's worrisome. At the level we operate at the African Youth Parliament, we must continue to do our best to ensure that the rightful leadership orientation is instilled in us. It is concreted our spirit that at that point in time we may be called upon to lead. It must not be a political office or sort, but at that point we survive, whether in the church or the church premises, anywhere else we operate. We are leaders at that level, and we are expected to give effective leadership and productive one at that. So it is worrisome that today, the situation where you have over 15 instances. One about it came. One of the reasons why I actually fell in for him was he came with this ideology that the youth must be involved in his government, and he did that, and he ensured that he actually redeemed it. When he got into power, he ensured that this local election, if you are above this particular age or like this, you are not eligible to contest for it or to go for it. At that point, the man was actually coming up with that ideology that pushed him into government to see how effective it can be by redeeming some of these campaign promises, which came to play. But today, those persons that benefited positively from that free will leadership today are against youth emancipation.
Okay, now Honorable Sase, as we commence our dissent now, some say because party politics, where the problem really lies, it's how candidates emerge. That's when we have the biggest problem.
That's emergence
of candidates and all that. Now, some have actually suggested that the best way that political parties can really be free from all these internal issues is to allow for a direct primaries rather than indirect primaries. So what is your own suggestion in all this?
My brother.
Most especially as we glide towards the 2020 elections.
My brother, whether you do it indirect, you do it open ballots, like the one they do in the ancient Greece, where you go and queue behind your person or behind the poster, Some people call it offshore effort, but I think offshore effort is a bit different from that. You see, the people who want to manipulate the interests of those who want to be in power will still manipulate. So that is not just the solution. The solution is transparency in the hands of the leaders. They must divert themselves from monetary gains. Don't say Mr. Evans has 20 billion to spend. This man have 1 million to spend. Therefore, he will be the best candidate. And because he has spent a lot of money, a lot of people now must gain their conscience. I have seen people who have come to me, I tell you, my friend, brother, I will support you. I've been in a position where I went for primaries to vote. People came to me and said, my brother, I won't vote for you, I won't take your money.
What about interest?
If people,
what about their interest?
No, because, why have I been able to do that? Because I have weighed them. I have known that if you give me 100,000 for me to buy my votes, my brother, I don't have the moral capacity to say, you have not done this, you have not done that, because I have sold my conscience. People must be able to say, look, if you like, bring 10 billion to me. If you are not qualified, I won't vote for you. By that, you begin to sanitize the system. The party leaders must be able to say, look, we are not looking at the watches you have. We are looking at the intelligence, the political machineries within your power to deliver on the dividends of democracy and the manifesto of our great political party.
All right, so what you're saying
and
is
therefore, if they are able to divert themselves from financial gains from the hands of aspirants, and put the aspirants, take them to a clinical lab, dissect them, and find out those who have the quality of leadership and deliverance on the goals of the party, I think we'll make a headway.
Okay. Now, what are the qualities of leadership, that we're talking about here?
You see, it's a long way we have to go.
You said it's a long?
It's a whole long way we have to go.
A whole long way?
Yeah, we have to go, we have to pray, we'll take time to sensitize the people, we'll take time to create awareness, organize campaigns and seminars, on how to actually tackle these issues. You see, you cannot, from your own personal knowledge of the person, determine when the person can lead when he's elected into power. And mind you, political power. You see, we are humans.
Now, what determines that now? What determines that, what you just said, what determines that somebody can actually lead?
Yes. The person that is there can speak.
Okay.
The person's circle of existence can also speak.
Okay.
And William Shakespeare once said, and I quote, "Speak that I may know thee, for speech is a mirror of character." So when people speak to you, you should be able to psychologically tell, ascertain the intent of that person.
Yeah, but most times we've had leaders that they are good at talking, they are good orators.
At the end of the day, they don't do what they will practice.
It's not about talking.
Yeah.
Relate to people closely. Critically assess them, appraise their activities in the past and what they do, currently. I feel if we begin to engage our prospective political leaders on salient issues and wait for their responses, whether they are oratory, whatever is so high or not, but whatever they say, their contribution, if they're able to reconcile it with where they are coming from, they should be able to deduce as to whether he is fit or proper enough to lead and not able to lead. Not able to lead.
Okay.
Now, the things we need to do is that how do we eradicate money from politics? It is a very difficult thing because we have found ourselves in a society, in a nation where poverty has become the other day. Now, but don't forget that in a society where intellectual culture is said to be consummated, illiteracy will remain the other day. So not until we are able to eradicate poverty, our youth are gainfully employed, they are busy. It will be so difficult. Okay. Who are those mounting their guards? Let me use let me say it in the popular parlance. At the match of guard, is a leader there. They are the youths are the ones there. For what? 5,000 naira. Okay.
All right. I think
we need to pray. We need to work on ourselves and our intelligence.
Just 30 seconds each. Yes. 30 seconds as we round up now. Honorable.
Yes. Like rightly said, it is not yet to huru.
Okay.
I want to believe that sanitizing our political environment as of today is like waiting for Godot.
All right. And comrade?
So the only way to go is to begin to carry out community services. Go and start from a community. Educate. If you are educated, if I am educated, I should know when I'm being deceived. So we need to be exposed and educate our mind and our youth.
All right, thank you.
On the right way to go.
Right.
That's the way we can achieve it.
Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining on this program today, this morning night. If you please extend the handshake to comrade. Now, a bigger sympathy. I understand you lost your dad recently.
Yeah.
All right, so accept my condolence.
Thank you very much. If you're also opportune, please join me over the weekend for the celebration.
I won't let you do
I know. I think don't worry. I will pay for the advance.
All right, thank you so much. Comrade Inova is going to be one of our readers on the 15th of December, 9 lessons at Carols, and he's going to be one of the youngest leaders there as that program comes your way. Well, we'll take a short pause now for that segment.